Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest in everything crypto. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how a one final level stands between Bitcoin going into a new bull market. As you guys know, we saw CPI data release on Wednesday. I was not able to live stream that day for reasons we'll talk about here in a little while. Very, very good news. But on that day, we saw CPI data release, and we saw CPI drop by not 0.1%, but by 1%. An order of magnitude greater drop than we witnessed in February. Over double the drop that we witnessed on March 12th at 8:30 when we saw CPI release, where we saw CPI come down from 6.4% inflation down to 6% inflation. That inflationary drop, alongside the recovery from the major market correction that we saw at the end of February moving into early March, led Bitcoin to rally over $9,000. And when we saw CPI drop by 1% yesterday, we saw Bitcoin rally another about $1,000. Now, the interesting thing is, it's Friday. The news dropped, 50 hours and 22 minutes ago. And we have not yet seen Bitcoin rally as a result of that big CPI drop. But I believe that it might be coming very, very soon. I'm very excited to bring you today's stream because this is the first stream after the birth of our new daughter. She was born perfectly healthy, in perfect health, at 4:47 in the afternoon on April 11th. The last time I streamed from this set was about 5 hours before my daughter was born. She is actually here in office with me today. She's not going to be on camera. We keep the pictures of our children off out of public view, but she is here today with her mother. Her mother's resting. She's in perfect health. I'll tell you guys a little bit more of the story if you are interested a little bit later, but it is safe to say that after the day where I married my wife and adopted my son, because that happened on the same day, that was definitely the second best day of my entire life, and very, 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 very close to first. It was incredible. All right. Running a little bit late. Turns out getting a newborn ready for the day takes a little bit longer than we anticipated. Sorry about that. Sean O'Brien in chat said, hey. Stephen Young said, here, Stephen. Crypto Mini Bike in chat, one of our green names. Thank you so much for tuning in. Said, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you as well. Werichi Gutierrez said, yo. Just simply yo. Yo to you too. When People's in chat said, good morning all. Thomas Lean said, hi, watching from Norway. Joseph LaBelle said, what is this, BitBoy? Are you saying that because I was running 20 minutes late? I'm sorry. Ben's a good friend of mine. I don't mean to mess with him. And then immediately after, we got the answer as to why I was running late. Brecht Riekert? That's an awesome name. I'm probably butchering it. Said, congrats on the birth of your daughter, Jebb. Thank you guys so much. A lot of congratulations in chat. You guys, there was 500 comments on that video that I shot from the mother baby room. It was really wonderful. Crypto Mini Bike said, so stoked for you and Sarah. Can't wait to hear the name. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how we want to. I could just tell you, but I almost want to make it something kind of special. I don't know. We'll see. When People's in chat said, at Crypto Jebb, congratulations, proud dad. Very proud dad. Miguel Costa said, just came here to congratulate you and Sarah. Congratulations, brother. Thank you. Thomas Post, said, congratulations on your new daughter, Jebb. Freedom Advocate said, hope I'm on my way. I'm coming. Jebb got those new child eyes, the look of love and fatigue. Yes, I probably did. We actually got about 6 hours of sleep last night. She ate a lot last night, but she did it all at once. She ate 3 times. Yeah, so. Oh, she's awake. Poor mom. Anyway, we actually did get a decent bit of sleep last night, so I am very tired and expect me to be a little bit off my 8 ball for the next couple of months as we start helping her to learn how to sleep. She's been doing pretty well, though. Congratulations to Crypto Jebb. Good morning, Crypto Jebb, and huge congrats on the new arrival. Congrats. Thank you guys so very much. Let's go ahead and jump straight on into it because I know that's what you guys are here for. Bitcoin right now is trading at $30,623. If we give a quick refresh to the page, we can see it's only 1.2% over the last 24 hours, and that's been kind of discouraging to people, but I've got some answers for you that I think will help to assuage some of your potential fears. Over the last 7 days, Bitcoin is up nearly 10%. That's the first thing I want to remind you, that Bitcoin is up nearly 10% over the last 10 days, over the last 7 days. It has gone through a major market rally. And compared to the rally that we saw in March, yes, it is smaller. But keep in mind, guys, Bitcoin has rallied nearly $3,000. That is nothing to be scoffed at. And it also signifies that Bitcoin has now begun breaking bullish out of the transitionary zone that we've talked about on this channel at length. If I just go to my face really quickly here, so I don't show my screen, and I'll show you the YouTube channel. There's a video that we made going on a month ago now. I'll show you right here. By the way, this is the video I shot from the mother baby room if you guys want to see that. And all the comments. Thank you guys so much. If you watch this video, you can kind of see in the background the way the chart looks. This video's got about 50,000 views. You're going to want to go watch it. It's a really good one. I think it'd be helpful for you. You can see this little chart right here. That's actually this chart. This is the chart that thumbnail was taken on. The transitionary zone sits between $25,236 and $28,545. That zone determines the boundary. This is the demarcation, the demilitarized zone, the mountain range that separates accumulation and bull market. There's a reason why this video, this stream, is titled the way it is, as always. I don't clickbait you guys. I don't lie to you. Now, obviously, I'll say something to get your attention, but I will never deceive you. Bitcoin is one key level away from a bull market, and I'm here to show you exactly what it is. And I'm going to put my cards on the table right now and tell you what it is. It's $32,935. Why? Well, quite simply, I'll explain it, and then I'll give you the answer, and then we'll explain it. We're going to play Jeopardy today. How about that? We've broken through the transitionary zone, indicating that we are now in the pre-halving phase of the bull market. However, we're only 5 days into it, and we're also only a few $1,000s into it. Not even just a shy tad bit over $2,000 into that bull market territory, because it starts at $28,545. We're at $36,10, which means we are $2,065 higher than the boundary there. The level we're talking about is $32,935 because once you break through a major level of resistance, oftentimes to confirm that you've broken the level of resistance, you want to break through another one to confirm the level that you already broke through. Because if the bulls are strong enough to push through the next level, then it stands to reason that they'll be strong enough to hold the previous level, even if they don't hold the current level. What do I mean? Well, with us breaking through $28,545, we pretty much have confirmed that we've broken through $25,236 with confidence. We kind of done that anyway because we stayed up here for weeks, and the reason I'm so zoomed out is to show you the grand scale of what we're dealing with here. If we're breaking through $28,545, there's a couple ways we can confirm that breakout. We can stay up here for weeks, or we could just rally straight up and break $32,935, or even just test it and bump our head against it as we did here. Now, there's a reason why I'm saying that we need another test before we actually confirm a break above $28,545. And that, very simply, guys, is because we never saw a price action correction following our March rally. We saw Bitcoin trade sideways, and it did so for quite some time. We traded sideways for 3 weeks. We never had a correction, which means, theoretically anyway, we are in one gigantic rally that has rallied the market 57% in 36 days, over $11,000. Typically, Bitcoin has trouble rallying 57% in 36 days without having a correction. That's over 1.5% a day. So for Bitcoin to be able to maintain itself in this rally, a couple of things need to happen, or a couple of other things will. First and foremost, Bitcoin needs to break even higher, trade sideways, and then maybe have a small correction. It's very possible and honestly quite healthy if Bitcoin did trade up to $32,935, test its head on it, reject, back test $28,545, not go below it. That would start getting into bearish territory. Back test it, bounce, and rally. That looks a lot like some of our initial predictions of what the breakout above $28,545 would look like. We've been predicting that Bitcoin would break $28,545 for weeks now. We've just been kind of talking about the details of how that breakout would look. You can see Bitcoin was actually trading sideways and actually moving to the downside into that CPI data release, which, by the way, I should probably just go ahead and show you. BLS.gov/CPI. I really need to bookmark that. You can see inflation dropped substantially, as in massively. Energy's at negative 6.4%. We are now seeing deflation in the energy market. That is as a result, just showing the table here, that is as a result of many of the different petrochemical sectors moving into high levels of deflation. Fuel oil, gasoline are actually negative. Energy as a whole was brought negative as a result of those basic energy commodities. Natural gas has come down to 5.5%. That was as high as 70% 6 months ago. You can see that primarily, but the same thing with food, which has come down slightly, has led to all categories dropping down to 5% from 6%. This is the single largest drop in inflation that the United States dollar has witnessed in, as far as I am aware, decades. I cannot remember the last time that we've seen that big of a CPI data drop, that big of a CPI drop in 1 month. Honestly, the reason I probably can't remember is because the last time it happened was probably well before I was born. This is a massive, massive drop in the consumer price index, and it brings a very real question. Why isn't Bitcoin rallying more when we saw a 1% drop? Well, I think it actually is a very simple question to answer, but you're not going to find the answer on the Bitcoin chart. You're actually probably going to find it on CoinMarketCap. You see, Bitcoin has rallied 10% over the last 7 days, which is nothing to scoff at. But Ethereum has rallied 12.57%. Ethereum, as opposed to a 1% rally today, has rallied 5% today. Ethereum has broken $2,000 and is knocking on $2,100 door. Head over to Dominance with me if you're following along on CoinMarketCap or if you're just watching. If you scroll into the last couple of days, literally the last couple of days, Ethereum has had an uptick ever since our daughter was born. On April 11th, it was sitting at 18.46%, now sitting at 18.81%. That is a small shift, but one that could be telling of something starting. On the Ethereum chart, it has a transitionary zone as well. This transitionary zone on Ethereum, based on all of the analysis that we've done over the past several weeks, sits between $1,677 and $2,038. That transitionary zone is demarcated by our local top that we set on November the 3rd, just before elections, just before FTX imploded at 1677. And then it's also demarcated by our top that we set here on August 14th on 2022 at $2,038. That is calculated the exact identical way that is calculated on Bitcoin. The transitionary zone on Bitcoin is, however, not calculated from its November the 4th high. It's actually calculated, its top is calculated at 28,545 from its local bottom that it set here in June of 2021, but that is the same level on Ethereum that was set here on November the 3rd. You can see going back to June 22nd or so, 2021, when Bitcoin was bottoming out, Ethereum did also, again at 1677. The market reused this level. So this transitionary zone is formulated identically to Bitcoin. However, on Ethereum, the top is set by the high on August 14th, whereas the bottom on Bitcoin is set by the high on August 14th, just as a result of how much more bearish Bitcoin was, and actually not so much how much more bearish Bitcoin was, because it wasn't much more bearish, but how deep of a correction this was and how strong of a bounce that was on Ethereum. Nevertheless, ETH's transitionary zone is between 1677 and 2038. If you're wondering why Bitcoin is not rallying as much as it should, I would pose a little bit of a, how would I say? I would challenge that assertion, because it relies on this faulty notion that a cryptocurrency bull market is entirely predicated on the success of Bitcoin. However, that's not the way this works. It is not just Bitcoin that responds positively to bullish news. It is not just Bitcoin that responds positively to bullish news. It is not just Cardano that responds positively to bullish news. In effect, the entire market does, and some parts of the market respond more effectively than others. Think about it from a war analogy. As much as I hate war, oftentimes the battle between the bulls and the bears can be very easily understood through the terms of warfare. Put it this way. If you have a major increase in strength from the Ukrainians, let's use a modern conflict. In a major increase in strength from the Ukrainians, does that mean that they're going to break through every single level, every single every single front at once? Are they going to have a breakthrough at Bakhmut? Are they going to have a breakthrough just north of that, moving up into the northern Donbass, up towards the northern parts of Donetsk? Not necessarily. If they have a major increase in strength, let's say they've got 100 Leopard 2s that show up, 50 F-16 fighters, you've got 500 extra Humvees that come in to back up those Leopards, whatever it is that they acquire, strength-wise, militarily-wise, they are going to be able to use that to push against the Russians on their front, right? Does that mean, therefore, that the Ukrainians are going to break through on every level at once? No. In fact, they're going to make sure not to do that because that's a stupid move. Unless you are vastly stronger, it's not a good idea to attack everywhere at once. You want to make sure you're defending everywhere at once and then coordinate a counteroffensive, in their case, because they're the defenders, a counteroffensive in one area to punch through a defensive line, run behind, and start using encirclement tactics and blitzkrieg tactics because of the benefits of modern war having to do with, internal combustion engines. That's a little bit, in a way, how it works in crypto. It's not always going to be that all of crypto moves at once when the bulls are in charge. It's not always going to be that the bulls are going to move the entire market on their own. Sometimes it is going to be that the bulls are going to move the market in one area. They're going to move Ethereum. They're going to move Cardano. They're going to move Solana. They're going to move Bitcoin. Typically speaking, they are going to move Bitcoin. However, when you've already pushed so far in one direction, there comes a time in warfare where you want to set up defensive positions because you've outrun your supply lines and you've also outrun all of the other fronts, and you want to push in a different direction. If you have a front that's 1,000 miles long, and on the westernmost 1,000 miles, the westernmost 100 miles of one front, you push very far in that direction, and then you push 300 miles into enemy territory, and you leave the rest of the front immobile and it hasn't moved, then you endanger the integrity of the entire front. Just think geometrically here. If you have a front like this and you push 100 miles that way, you're actually extending the length of your front. It makes it very difficult for you to defend. So you want to make sure that at some point you're pushing the whole front forward. What do I mean? Well, Bitcoin had run very far ahead of the rest of its cadres, of its friends. And that leaves Bitcoin in a slightly exposed position because now it's running on its own. There's been a cavalry charge behind the enemy lines, but if you are not able to sustain that with infantry movements and building of new defensive positions and ingraining yourself and entrenching yourself, is the word I was looking for, then you're going to have difficulty. That's what is going on right now. Bitcoin has outrun its supply lines. Insofar as it has not had a huge correction. We like to see it. I mean, that's great, but it has not had a lot of fresh supplies come to the front because it didn't have that correction. That correction sometimes is very important. Sometimes if you get overextended, maybe you capture 10,000 square miles or 1,000 square miles. Let's use something a little more realistic. You capture 1,000 square miles. Maybe you want to give up a third of that just so that you can defend the 2/3. It's very, very, very common in warfare to capture a bunch of territory and keep 50% of it. But you call that a victory. I don't call anything in warfare victory because bloodshed is never victorious. But many battlefield commanders would call that victory because they kept half of it. That's not what Bitcoin did. It kept all of it. But that means that Bitcoin was very exposed. So it's having a difficult time right now because it did not amalgamate. It did not... what is the word I'm looking for? Goodness gracious. Somebody said I have the fatigue, and they're absolutely right. I'm trying to find my word. Bitcoin did not consolidate. Consolidate is territorial gains. So now Ethereum is doing that. There's an attack on the other front. Whereas Bitcoin rallied 10% or so, Ethereum has rallied 26%. In the last 18 days, Bitcoin has rallied from its local bottom down here around 26,000, has rallied about 16%. Ethereum has rallied 18.5. I'm sorry, not 18.5. Ethereum has rallied 26%. Bitcoin's rallied 16%. Ethereum's rallied 26%. And where we actually get a lot more context for what's going on is over on the total market capitalization charts. Because over on total market cap, we can actually see what's going on with a lot more resolution. And it starts to make sense more why we have not seen Bitcoin rally up to $32,000 just yet. And it's actually a very healthy thing that it has not done it just yet, and I'll explain why. There's this uptrend here on total market capitalization charts. If you're not familiar with this chart, this very simply is a chart of the value of all cryptocurrencies cumulatively. Right now, all cryptocurrencies collectively sit at a $1.25 trillion in market capitalization, which, yes, is a local high and a very important one. Remember how we have a transitionary zone on Bitcoin. We have a transitionary zone between 25,236 and 28,545. Over on ETH, it's between 1677 and 2038. We've broken now through our transitionary zone on ETH. And so too, there's a transitionary zone on total market capitalization charts defined the exact same way as Bitcoin and Ethereum, largely because this chart is made up of 60% of 60% of this chart is made up by market capitalization for Bitcoin and ETH. Our first level here is set at 1,175 billion at our August 14th high. Our other level is set here from our June 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th level in 2021. Transitionary zone here on total market capitalization chart is dictated identically to the way that it is dictated on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that gives us a zone between 1.114 trillion and 1.181 trillion dollars. We had been sitting in that zone on total. We had been sitting in that zone on ETH. We've been sitting in that zone on Bitcoin. You may think that Bitcoin only rallying a couple of $1,000s is actually a failure. I'm here to tell you this is one of the most significant bullish events that Bitcoin has witnessed in years. In fact, I would argue that this is the most bullish event that we have witnessed since Q1 of 2022, when Michael Saylor got a bunch of industry executives, Fortune 500 executives, in a room and started teaching them about cryptocurrency. That, arguably, was even more significant than what we saw when Elon Musk bought a few $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Both of those events happened within months of each other. Both of those events were some of the most bullish things that had ever happened to Bitcoin. This is not one of the most bullish things that's ever happened to Bitcoin, but it is one of the most bullish things that has happened to Bitcoin in a couple of years. So you might think, but Jebb, Bitcoin only rallied $2,000. Wasn't it going to go to 32,935? I still think it will, and I think it'll inch its way up there over the course of this month. However, it not going there immediately is not the end of the world, because with Bitcoin breaking 28,545 as a result of this CPI data coming out, exactly what we predicted would happen in this video and in this video, that Bitcoin would be trading up above 28,545 and moving towards 32,935 within days of the CPI data release. That's exactly what happened. As a result of that, the three most important charts in all of the cryptocurrency industry broke their most important level. Let me say that again, just so that you understand the significance of this. And in a pretty cool way, it actually happened the day before, I almost said her name, the day before our daughter was born. Every single one of the three most important charts in the cryptocurrency industry broke their most important level on Monday. And over this week, they have held it. This, my friends, if confirmed, is the week that the bull market begins. And that is probably, if I have time, now of course there's doctor's appointments and all kinds of things, that's probably what Saturday's video is going to be on, if I'm able to actually get that made. Might not be as fancy editing as normal, but hopefully I can at least get you some information. This is the single most important breakthrough that Bitcoin has witnessed in years. And looking back from a historical standpoint, in a year from now, April 10th will likely be considered the day that the Bitcoin bull market began. As you can see, breaking through the transitionary zone on Bitcoin puts it into the pre-halving phase of the bull market. So too, Bitcoin breaking through the transitionary zone sent Ethereum through the top of its transitionary zone. Right now, ETH is just shy of $100 above the transitionary zone. It is the one, the Ethereum market is the market that is the most in jeopardy of not staying above its transitionary zone. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Ethereum, as the total market capitalization chart does also, has an uptrending level of resistance right here. It broke through the top of that. It's very possible that Ethereum corrects back down to this uptrending level of support. This is on linear. I normally use log, but you have to find this on linear if you're interested in this uptrend. Very important uptrend. It's hugely possible that ETH could fall back down to this level. It's not the end of the world if it does. Don't worry too much about it. It will be okay. But for now, Ethereum is above that transitionary zone. It is very, very, very exposed. by the way. So this is kind of this is what I mean when you have this territory where you have a cavalry charge, you have a tank charge, you have a blitzkrieg, whatever it is, and you push well into enemy lines and then you only keep half of it. It's very possible that that's what ETH does. Very possible that ETH comes down and like back tested $1,900 or something. Be this level, maybe set right here. If it does, not the end of the world. We're still right there close to the transitionary zone. Bitcoin has concretely broken it. I would like to see a confirmation by at least rallying to 32,935. If not breaking it, but ETH could fall back below it. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. But with Bitcoin and Ethereum doing that, that has sent the total cryptocurrency market capitalization charts through their level of resistance at $1.181 trillion. Now, total cryptocurrency market chart capitalization chart moving here makes a lot of sense because there's this uptrending level of resistance right here. Bitcoin has been using this to define its uptrend, and with the CPI data release, that's exactly where we went. And in fact, we put the biggest wick above that uptrend that we have seen to date. It is also possible on total, if we see a correction on ETH and on Bitcoin, Bitcoin could correct back down to 30,000, ETH could correct back down to $1,900. Not the end of the world if it does happen. We could see a drop of about $60 billion on total as a result of that, causing a backtest of $1.181 trillion, which as I said, would not be a bad thing because it would give us the ability to lock in this local high that we set here on the 14th of August, 2022. Point being, and I've said it again and again and again, but I'm going to tell you a third or fourth or 17th, whatever time, Bitcoin breaking the level that it did, even if it didn't go all the way to 32,935 overnight, as we were hoping, I do think it'll be there within a month. Bitcoin doing that just confirmed a just began a bull market from a very, very unconfirmed standpoint. We would like to see more confirmations, but technically speaking, as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell, looking back historically, April 10th, which is 4 days ago, Monday, will most likely be the beginning of the bull market. Again, as I've spoken about in these videos, we've talked about all the reasons why. We've talked about how Lux Algo is confirming a bull market. We've talked about how CPI cycles are confirming a bull market. We've talked about how the halving cycles are confirming a bull market. Another thing to keep in mind, guys, is how the moving averages are confirming a bull market. You look out here to your moving averages. I need to pull them back up. Look at your moving averages on the weekly chart. Simple technical analysis. You guys are familiar with it. There's a cross above the weekly chart right here, where we have, and you can see the moving averages turned on here, 50 over 200, where we have the 50 crossing above the 200. For the first time in the history of cryptocurrency, we had a bearish cross where the 50 crossed below the 200. I told you guys that was actually a bullish thing because while we've never seen a bearish cross on those two moving averages, we have seen very close calls. And every time those two moving averages have come close, it has been the beginning of the bull market. Why? Well, those moving averages are so slow, just like me sometimes, especially when I haven't slept. Those moving averages are so slow that by the time they correct, the bear market's over. They're not a confirmation of anything other than a bull market. They're a counter indicator. Now, on top of that, we've seen them cross bullish, which is actually also a bullish sign. This is one of those few technical indicators where whether it crosses bullish or bearish, whether it crosses up or down, it's actually bullish either way. In this case, we've now seen the bearish cross, which indicated the beginning of a bull market. Now we've seen the bullish golden cross here on the weekly chart. Moving averages are confirming bull market. CPI cycles are confirming bull market. Lux Algo on weekly chart, as we talked about in this video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You're missing out. In that video, we talked about how we saw you can see all my charts here. I have so many of them. We saw a golden cross, a buy signal come in on Lux Algo. That has now been confirmed. Now, that was confirmed a month ago. That's moving to the upside aggressively. Even out on a monthly chart, guys, because of this movement, we're above the trend catcher on monthly chart. It's very possible we have a strong buy signal on monthly chart within days. Maybe weeks, but within days, possibly. We're seeing the market move to the upside very aggressively on the monthly chart. We closed the March monthly candlestick hugely bullish. Right now, we're kind of having this cycle where we're bullish one month, flat next month. That could happen this month. Bitcoin just holding above 28,545 this month, even if it doesn't rally, even if it literally moves just sideways. If it stays above 28,545 and that monthly candlestick closes green or even just neutral, that's kind of all she wrote on the accumulation phase. The accumulation phase is done. This is one of those times where Bitcoin is already winning. It just the bulls are already winning. We just need to run out the clock. If this were basketball, Team Bull is up 50 points and there's like 5 minutes left to go. They just need to make sure the other team doesn't score that much. They don't even need to worry about scoring. Bitcoin doesn't need to do anything. Bitcoin could stay right here and not even move to 32,935, and that would be fine. That'd be so fine. It's not even funny. It is fine if it does that. So long as it does not fall below 28,545, and even if it doesn't, especially if it doesn't fall below 25,236, Bitcoin's in great shape. It really is, guys. And that's where I want to give you guys some encouragement. Now, I also want to give you a little bit of a counterpoint to that, because there is always the contrarian side of me. I like to think about both sides of things. There is also the contrarian side where I say, look, Bitcoin rallied nonstop here for 4 months in quarter 1 and 2 of 2019. Then it had this massive 6-month correction. Bitcoin could do that. People have presented that idea to me, and it actually is possible. It makes a lot of sense. I've seen 5 green weeks in a row. Bitcoin could rally up to like $40,000 and then backtest 28.5, or even backtest 25,236, or even backtest 21,500. If it does that, that's okay. You know why? Because we'd still be in a bull market. This would just be a bigger correction like what we saw in 2019, and that would be running out the clock until the halving, which comes in April 8th, 2024. I believe April 8th is what it's shooting for right now, what is predicted to be right now. If we see us rally all the way up to $40,000 or $45,000, correct back down here, 2 things. Number 1, that's burning time, which gets us closer to the halving, which is going to send us into a bull market, very likely. And 2, it proves that there is enough bullish strength to send us back to $45,000. I'm not worried about, oh, look at this, Bitcoin's at a lower high than all-time high. Oh, no, it's the end of the world. A lot of people had that concern back here in July of 2019. In fact, I did also to a certain extent. You know, man, Bitcoin's setting lower highs. It does seem a little bit concerning when your downtrend goes from, when your trend goes from that to that. However, remembering the fundamental strength of Bitcoin and what has happened before, I think there's every reason to believe bull market is coming. So even if we did go to $40,000 or $45,000, correct back down to 28.5 or even a little bit lower, which just $45,000 down to 28.5, 25 would be a 44% correction. Which, by the way, let me just remind you, during the last bull market, during 2 bull markets ago, the one I got into the crypto space on, Bitcoin always corrected 40%. So I'm not worried about a 40% correction. That doesn't scare me in the slightest. Not even close. We thought this was a big correction. 23%. Ha! You're welcome to crypto. 25% correction is nothing. 40%, 50%, 60%. Those are the bull market corrections that we could see. 30, 40% is probably more likely considering the market is maturing. Point being, we've broken the transitionary zone. All we got to do is run out the clock for another month. And we're in a bull market. Now, I would like to see Bitcoin run out the clock for like 3 or 4 months to confirm a bull market if we're not going to break 32,935. If we're just going to trade sideways up here, then yeah, I'd like to see us prove that we can stay up here for some time. However, if we can break 32,935, which I might as well just show you where that level comes from. If we're able to break 32,935, that's where staying above that for a few days would give me a lot more confidence. Yeah, we're in a bull market. And a lot of people are like that. They're like, oh, I'm so close to dumping $100 million in. I just want a little bit more confirmation. And they're looking to the technical analyst like we do, the technical analysis like we do on this channel to make those decisions. The level that we're looking for is 32,935. Just go ahead and draw that 32,935, 32,935. And that level comes from this level of support that we set here on January 24th, 2024. I'm sorry, 2022. I'm time traveling. Sorry about that, guys. And that was the level that once we broke, we knew we were in a bear market. So it stands to reason that once we break that, we'll know we're in a bull market. I think we're already in a bull market. I think it is highly, highly, highly at risk because we need confirmation. But I'm very encouraged by where Bitcoin stands right now. I'm pretty excited about where Bitcoin is and where Bitcoin is going, but I would love to hear your opinions on all of that in the comment section down below. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and bearing with me as I might be a little bit slower today. You keep mentioning your good predictions, but what about your ADAX prediction? Have not looked at ADAX in a while, and I'm definitely not going to tell you that every one of them comes perfectly true. I've definitely made mistakes in the past, and I'm thankful for them in some regards because those mistakes are the things that I use to learn by. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect, but I am very excited. You should run out the live stream clock without... Oh, okay. We got a little bit of a troll in chat. How about that? I'm sorry. Do you make every prediction perfect? Can you cover ADA? I actually did make a video on ADA relatively recently that I think you would find pretty helpful. Go over to our, I almost said our website. Go over to YouTube. Cardano will double to 77 cents in 30 days if Cardano price prediction. That may not end up happening quite as quickly as I predicted. I'll give you that one too. However, just to kind of give you a little quick close up on Cardano, In that video, I said Cardano could rally to between 50 and 77 cents, probably to about 50 to 55 cents, I think is what I said would be the most likely. We actually have set a new local high with the rest of the market rallying. With the market not rallying quite as fast as we thought, Cardano very well may not rally quite as fast as we thought, but it is in good shape. I'm pretty happy with where Cardano is. Let's see. Bitcoin going to test 27K today. Possible. It is very possible. Oh, we had a super chat. CBD Suddy said, congrats, Daddy Jebb. Get your daughter a lovey on me. Target has a few different options. Fatherhood changed my life. Thank you guys so much. I'm very, very, very excited. Very excited to be a dad of two, because now we have two. We have a 2-year-old. And it's just so interesting to see the differences. I'm like, wow, what a difference 2 years can make. My son is like, you know, he's like that. He's a little squirt. He's like, he's not even 3 feet tall yet. And I have always thought, man, he's so small. I just sling him around all over the place. And then I'm holding her. I'm like, you're so tiny. You're so small. And then I go and pick up my son. I'm like, you're huge. He's like twice her size, and he's half my size in height. And he's like a fifth my size in weight, you know? So, because he's, you know, 2.5. But just very, very interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Did you just say your daughter's name? Did I? I don't think I did. I don't think so. Let's see. Jebb, did y'all have a boy or a girl? We had a little baby girl. A little baby girl. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to read some chat here. We're going to go to 11, and then we're going to wrap it out. Oh my gosh, Jebb's a daddy now. I've actually already been a father for a little over a year. I adopted Malachi when Sarah and I got married. Congrats, Jebb. Children are an heritage of the Lord. Psalm 127, verse 3. Raise them up in the way of the Lord, and when they are older, they shall not depart. That's another psalm. I think that's a psalm. Wait, that might be Proverbs, actually. Shadrach Frost said, smash the like button for this man. Give back the love and respect that Jebb brings us daily. Thank you so much. 1 million in 90 days looks possible now. I'd say that's a little bit, aggressive, but we'll see. Coin Operator said, Jebb has that new dad glow. It is, it's definitely an exciting time. I know you've been praying for my soul. Yes, we are always praying. Go long on Pampers. Congrats on the beautiful baby. Thank you, Woodard family. That's a cool name. Congratulations, Jebb. Jebb's got those new, Dr. Fuzzy Eyeballs in chat, by the way. Shout out to you. Said, Jebb's got those new child eyes, the look of love and fatigue. Yep, we did. Like I said, we did actually get 6 hours of sleep last night, which is probably not going to be every night. So I might be a little bit more cognizant today than I normally will be for the next few months as she figures out the whole sleeping thing. But she's been doing pretty well. She, when she was born, she had her days and nights plumb backwards. She was starting her day at 8 p.m. and ending her day at about 6 a.m. So that was fun. But so we got about 3 hours of sleep the first 2 nights. We got about 6 last night. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Thomas Lean said, hi, watching from Norway. We had a nurse that was from Norway. Her name was spelled Jenny, but her name was Yenny. Shout out to Yenny. She was very cool. She helped us go down to the car. She was our last nurse before we left. We stayed 2 nights. Fino donated $1.99, said, will Compound Finance hit a new ATH? Gotta be honest, I've not looked at Compound Finance's chart, so I could not tell you. But I do think if you have a good project, you will hit all-time high in the next bull market. I know that's a very vague answer, but I would prefer to give you a vague answer that I can be sure of than a specific answer that I am not very well informed on. So sorry about that. Saj Habib said, children change everything. They sure do. Bart said, congrats Jebb, on your newborn. Greets from the Netherlands. Thank you, guys. Yeah, have you mastered the art of swaddling? Great question. I think so. She prefers when I swaddle her. I could not figure it out for the life of me, and that girl has some strong legs. I tell you what, she just was over there kicking her way out of it. I'm like, wow, you were strong. Got very strong legs. She's also huge, by the way. She was born 8 pounds, 4 ounces, and she's 21 inches long. So she's in like the 90th percentile on weight and height. So she's probably going to be 6 feet tall, which is crazy. She's going to end up being bigger than her son, which is really, really funny. He's probably going to be like 5'6", 5'7". Oh, man. yeah, let's see. What was I saying? But yeah, our life hasn't actually changed all that much because, I mean, it's changed dramatically with, you know, just loving that. But what am I saying? Soccer player in training. Yep, probably. Or lacrosse or something. What am I trying to say? But we already have one child. So you kind of just throw her in there, you know, metaphorically, you know, throw her anywhere. When she's like 3, I'll be throwing her around and stuff. But, you know, for right now, you got to support her head and whatnot. But anyway, I have to get going because we have a doctor's appointment to make it too. More sleepless nights coming up. Yeah, but she's a really good sleeper. So I'm pretty excited about that. My son's arm always escaped. Yeah, she likes to try that. I can normally keep her arms in. It's her legs that are the hard part. So she likes it when I double swaddle her. So I'll put 2 on her. If you guys don't know what swaddling is, it's like the cutest thing ever. Just look up a swaddled baby and you'll see they're like a little burrito. Anyway, I've got to get going. We've got to go to a doctor's appointment. Go get her bilirubin checked for jaundice. She doesn't have it, but you know, they keep an eye on it. Really just appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, and thank you so much for your patience. You were going to say you guys are blessed. Is that what I was going to say? I probably was going to say that. I say that quite a bit. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys will, more than likely, if everything goes well, see me on Coffee and Crypto on Monday, and I'm going to try to get a video out on Saturday. I would like to not miss a Saturday video, but of course, got a lot going on, so we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.